Hey, first grade. Today we will be talking about how to compose 2D shapes using 2D shapes that we already have. And we have been practicing this all year with morning bins and using pattern blocks. Today we will also be using Cool Math for Kids to help you manipulate some of the pattern blocks. But if you have pattern blocks at home, feel free to take them out. I'm going to share my screen with you and we are going to get started with your visual learning video.
Look at the shapes. How many small red shapes do you see?
In our video, I see 1, 2 small red shapes.
2. How many large yellow shapes do you see?
There is 1 large yellow shape on our piece of paper.
1. You can use smaller shapes to make a large shape. You can trace the large shape. How many sides does the yellow shape have? Let's count. Select your answer.
Let's look at our yellow shape. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. There are 6 sides on our yellow shape.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The yellow shape has 6 sides. You can use smaller shapes to cover the tracing. How many red shapes do you need to cover the yellow shape?
So we have 1 yellow shape, and if I was to put my red shape right on top, it would cover half of the shape. Now if I put my other red one on top, it covers the whole yellow shape.
You need 2 red shapes. Is there a different way to make this shape?
So if we look at our shapes side by side, we can see that you can make the same shape using 1 yellow shape and 2 red shapes.
Yes. Now you know how to use smaller shapes to make a larger shape.
Awesome. We're going to get started with your practice, and I'm going to switch over to our Cool Math for Kids website to kind of help you see some of this. So we are going to complete the chart. We are going to make a large triangle using blue and green pieces. So I'm going to switch my screen over here, and I am going to start by grabbing 4 triangles, because that's how many was on our chart. And I'm going to make a bigger triangle. So I'm going to turn this triangle around and put my pieces close together. To make a triangle. So if I had my real pattern blocks, I could put these pieces together to make a triangle. I made my triangle on the screen upside down, but I used 4 triangles to make a bigger triangle. Now, the shape I'm going to make is, again, a bigger triangle, but I am going to use blue and green pieces. So I'm going to start and put 1 blue piece like this, 1 blue piece like this, 1 blue piece like this. Now I'm going to fill in these gaps with some triangles. And now this is not a perfect triangle because there are some holes in my shapes. But if we were to use our pattern blocks, you would get the same shape. So just gonna fill in my triangles, and you can see that we can use our pattern blocks to make a bigger triangle. So when we made this shape, we used 3 blue pieces and 3 green pieces. So we used 3 blue and 3 green. Now, the next shape that it wants you to make is a large yellow piece, and it wants you to make it 3 different ways. So I'm going to go back to our Cool Math for Kids, and I am going to delete all of these shapes. Oops. All right, so we have our big yellow shape, and it wants us to use red pieces, blue pieces, and green pieces. So we already know we can make 1 large yellow shape by using 2 smaller red shapes. So that is one way to make it. So I'm going to fill that in on our chart. So I use 2 red, 0 blue, and 0 green. Now I'm going to use some green triangles to make our shape. I can keep adding triangles all the way around to make my larger yellow shape. I'm going to link this website for you guys to use. And if you see up in the corner, there are pattern puzzles, which are what we use during school. So if you're feeling like doing some puzzles, it has some shapes for you to make. Now I'm just gonna fix some of my triangles to make it a closer fit. But I used 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green pieces to make our bigger yellow piece. I didn't use any other colors. So 0 red, 0 blue, and 6 green. Now, my third way that I'm going to make this shape is using some blue and some green pieces. So I'm going to put in my blue pieces first. And then I'm going to fill in the triangles. So this time I used 2 green pieces and 2 blue pieces. So 0 red, 2 blue, and 2 green. All right, that is all of the practice that we are going to do today. The last question says use three pattern blocks to make a new shape. Trace the pattern blocks. What shapes did you use? What shape did you make? You guys are welcome to do that using the Cool Math for Kids website. You could also check out some of these pattern puzzles and try and make these shapes. And then at the bottom where it says show solution, I will show you how it made it. All right, now that we have finished this lesson, you guys are going to log in to pearsonrealize.com and do your quick check and your interactive practice study. Bye, first grade.